Hey everyone. All right. Hey everyone. Let me go ahead and mute that. Okay, cool. Hey everyone. All right. So, just popping up my Facebook here on my laptop and on my phone so I can see if you guys have any questions that come through. Replayers, just pop your questions in the comments below, because today I want to talk to you about how to book qualified discovery calls. A lot of people seem to be struggling with getting calls on their calendar, and a lot of this has to do with algorithm changes with Facebook. Facebook is, a lot of what Facebook offers is free. You can have a free Facebook group, you can have a free page, you can create free Facebook events. There's so many things that are free when it comes to Facebook that they are now going to start making it really challenging to use those free things, and they're gonna have you start paying for advertising. So things that we have been very accustomed to being free are getting a little more challenging. So also the other part of this is that a lot of group owners are sick of the promotion, and they are getting really strict with their groups. Now, I have a couple of thoughts on that. Number one, I think that this is business. We are all in this online space because we run and operate a business. I kind of think it's, I don't know. I don't think it's right if you have a Facebook group that you don't allow people to promote. I think that's just effing ridiculous to me, because every single person that is online, we are in business. So it only makes sense that Facebook groups are for networking. Facebook groups are for growing your tribe. It's for building your business. Like, that's why we use them. However, I think that Facebook group owners should have rules around the promotion. And I think that there should be, some strict guidelines around when and how you can promote. And I think that if you're going to use Facebook groups to promote, you need to be providing value first and consistently. That's my thoughts on it. But for groups who are like, naysayers to no promotion except for them, I think it's just fucking ridiculous that they're the only ones that can promote and nobody else can do that. I don't really partake in those types of groups because I think it's completely just ridiculous to expect that people are not going to want to do some sort of promotion, considering that, we're all in business. So let's just be a little bit realistic about this for a second, that, if you have a Facebook group, you should allow people to promote in it. But put some rules and boundaries around it. To tell people that they absolutely can't promote at all, and then the owner is doing all the promotion, I mean, that person's probably going to end up with a pretty empty or very quiet Facebook group. That's just the direction we're headed. So when it comes to booking qualified discovery calls, a lot of people are struggling. They're struggling with where, how, what resources do we use? How do we get the right people on the calls? Once we get them on the calls, then what? What if they're not the right people? What if I'm attracting the wrong person? What if the groups that I'm in, they don't allow promotion? There's all of this stuff that's just making it feel like it's really complicated to book discovery calls, which for me, this has always been something that comes super easy. Even back 15 years ago when I started my business, way back then, for some reason, I've always been very good at booking discovery calls. It has come super easy to me. Closing sales calls has been even easier. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I know that I can always book discovery calls and do a sales conversation if I need to make money in my business. It's very easy for me. It always has been. I've worked with David Nagel on his sales team. I've worked on his campaigns before. I've had a lot of privileges, with a lot of the leaders in the industry, because I'm so good at this. It just is something that comes natural. And I think that, similar to like marketing and sales conversations, we overcomplicate things most often. We just overthink it. We overcomplicate it to the point where we're stuck still. We just can't move. We can't get a result. We can't move forward. And it just doesn't need to be so damn complicated. And that's what I want to share with you today. Just I want to show you how I book discovery calls and how it's pretty effing easy. Hi, Kim. Good to have you here. I'm just going to see who's here real quick, and then I'll dive into the content. I don't want to leave anyone sitting here too long. I know replayers like to just get down to business. So I also like to engage with people. That's why I do these trainings. So I want to make sure I am creating space to just say hello and connect with everyone. But I also want to make the viewing pleasure fun for my replayers. All right, awesome. So just say hi in the comments. Let me know who's here. I like to know who is showing up and where you're joining us from. One thing you'll learn about me and one thing you should practice if you're using social media is to start being more social. That's the whole purpose of social media. If you're just using it to kind of be a fly on the wall and to consume a bunch of information and just never engage, you will probably struggle for a while in your business. So one thing about me is when I create space to come here and connect with you and to give you value, I want you to engage. So just say hello, give me hearts, give me likes, do something. Hi, Barb. Good to have you here. Okay. Awesome. So, all right. So how to book discovery calls. Let's talk about this. Here's what I'm going to promise you. I am only going to share with you what you need to know to quickly, easily, and authentically book qualified discovery calls and close faster and easier sales, okay? And when I say qualified, I'm going to talk about what that means because most of what you guys might be doing is booking calls. But what I want to show you is how to book qualified calls. There's a difference. All right, this is my sales history because I want you to know I am not, I'm not coming into this industry like I just told you. I go way back 15 years I've been in business, and discovery calls and sales calls have been easy peasy for me. Just they've been natural. They've come very natural. But I did not come into this industry with a damn thing in my favor. I can promise you that. My sales history used to be constant client chasing mode. So I was always chasing down clients. I lived, instead of paycheck to paycheck, I lived client to client. So I was constantly chasing down that next contract all the time. And that's how I lived. If I didn't have a client coming through, if I didn't have a contract that I was signing, if I wasn't doing a sales call, then guess what? I was broke. So I was always in client chasing mode. Many of you can relate to this. I was burnt out and broke. Not only was I extremely exhausted, I was so frustrated. I felt so defeated. I felt so overwhelmed. And to top it off, just if that wasn't enough, I was broke. I wasn't making any freaking money. We had to sell our very first family dog because we couldn't afford him and we needed the money. We had to sell our first home to keep it from going out of foreclosure. I used to have to ask my mom, who is on disability and food stamps, if she could literally buy us some groceries. We had it really bad in the very beginning, earlier years of my business. I was the clear definition of broke and burnt the F out. It was really bad. I also had a lot of last minute no-shows. So remember I told you booking discovery calls came really easy and natural for me, but I was booking a lot of last minute no-shows. If you can relate to that, give me a 1 in the comments, because I know a lot of people come to me and say, damn it, I booked like 5 discovery calls and 2 showed up, or 1 showed up and even they weren't interested. It is common because typically you're not getting the right people on the phone, which is why we want to talk today about qualified discovery calls. Because if you're not getting the right people on the call, on your calendar, then yeah, you're going to have last minute no-shows. You're going to have people who just don't show up, or they cancel. They just go MIA, and that's no fun, right? Okay, I was also constantly promoting in other people's Facebook groups. So I know at the beginning of this, I kind of talked about, you know, Facebook groups should be a place that you can promote your business. It just should be, period. I think that if someone owns a Facebook group, I think that you should allow people to promote in it. That's just my freaking belief. I don't think it's very cool to say, hey, come into my Facebook group, let me promote to you, but you can't promote your shit. Like, hello, we're in business, okay? And I think every successful business owner can remember the day when they weren't so successful and we relied on Facebook groups to grow our business. I recall not very long ago, Facebook groups was how I made all my money. And so if more and more people are not allowing that, then I feel really bad for the new people coming in who are not successful yet because they need the Facebook groups. I think that you should be able to promote in Facebook groups. However, I think that there should be rules around it. If you're going in there just to pitch your stuff, if you're going in there with no business to be just blasting stuff out and you don't know what the heck you're doing, then I don't think that that's right. And I think there should be rules and guidelines and stipulations around how and when you promote in somebody else's Facebook group. However, I used to just promote. I didn't give value. I didn't actually spend any time in these Facebook groups. I don't know who the owners were. I don't know the people that were in them. I couldn't have cared less. I literally was just thinking about my wallet. I just wanted to go in and promote and get sales. And so sometimes I got banned from groups, or I would get those private messages, and I'm sure you guys can relate. But I would get private Facebook messages from either the group owner or from the group owner's VA who would say, hey, we had to delete that. You're not allowed to promote outside of the thread on X day. Please don't do that again. We don't want to have to remove you. So, it happens. I wasn't being very intentional. I wasn't being very smart with the way that I was promoting. And so that's what I used to do. Bad business. I also used to be scared to ask for the sale. Sales is something I've always been really good at when I've done them. But before I realized how good I was and how much I actually liked them, I was really scared to ask people for the sale. I was scared to, if they didn't initiate it, I didn't know what to say. So I would always wait for them to be like, so what's the next step? Or, what would it look like to work together? And if they didn't say that, I'd just be like, great, do you have any other questions? And I would just kind of leave them flat. And then after I would hang it up and I'd be like, damn it, I didn't even ask them if they wanted to work together. I used to be really scared to do that. I also was scared to talk about my price points because I used to just create traditional plain Jane offers, nothing fancy. It was the same thing everybody offered. It was boring as hell. There was no signature system. There was no process or intention to them. And so I didn't see the value in it. So when it came to talking about the price point, I had a really hard time matching my energy. Well, actually, my energy matched it. It was really low. And so I was scared to ask for the sale. And that led me to always negotiating my prices. So I was the type that would sit at the edge of my seat. And when we would get to the part of the sales conversation, I would, and we get to talking about, okay, what's the investment? I would say, well, it's $1,000, but. And I would jump right in. But if you sign up today, it's this much. Or, I'll give you a $200 discount. I mean, I was doing that before anybody even said anything about my offer. Like nobody had even, they hadn't even said anything. And I was already negotiating. So, those who speak first usually lose, right? So I definitely lost out. And actually, I still didn't get a lot of sales when I did that, even when I negotiated and dropped my prices, because people could just feel my low energy and they could feel my insecurity around it, and it just didn't feel right. So I also had drawn out discovery calls, and I literally can remember a couple of my calls that were like 2.5 hours long. One of them was in the evening, and I remember my husband saying, honey, we're going to have dinner in about an hour. And I said, not a problem. I'm having a 30-minute discovery call, and then I'll come out and I'll help you cook. And he's like, awesome. And so I looked at the clock 45 minutes into this call, and I'm like, damn it, I got to hurry up. I got dinner, like the kids, everybody's waiting. And then an hour and a half went by, and I was literally at my desk. I had my head in my hand, resting it down on the desk, exhausted, and I had to keep muted my phone so I could sigh and just be like, what the fuck? I was so stressed out because I could not believe that I was spending so much time on these damn discovery calls, coaching and teaching, giving away everything. I had no idea what I was doing. And what sucked the most about this is not only did I lose time with my family and felt just really drawn, I felt so exhausted on these calls, but I didn't get the sale. they felt confused. They felt like they had everything they needed. And really, it was just a good conversation for them. It wasn't an actual sales call. And so I would end up coaching on my calls, and I didn't get the sale anyway at the end of it. So it was really just a lose-lose situation for everybody. But I was burnt out because of that. So I also used to have calls with people that were not a fit. Now, in the beginning, my coach at the time used to always say, just fill your calendar, and it doesn't matter who it is, just get people on your calendar. I definitely agree to that. Like, I agree with that to some degree. I think that, yes, in the beginning, when you're not like making any money, it's like beggars can't be choosers, right? You almost can't afford to not like just get everybody on your calendar. However, there's so many strategies nowadays. There's so many tactics that you can use where you still will fill your calendar probably with some people that aren't a good fit, but for the most part, you're getting more people that are a fit than aren't, right? Like, there's just so many different ways that you can do this now that you don't really have to fill your calendar with the wrong people. I do think that you should, if you need sales, then yes, you should just fill up your calendar, but I think you should be a little bit cautious about it as well. I mean, there's things that I know and do now that I did not back then, and so that was how it was. I was also speaking to people that were not ready to invest. So you have to really understand, if you're inviting people to a discovery call or a sales call, you got to understand that the point of the call is to talk about working together. If you're inviting people to a call with you and you're not inviting them with the intention to talk about working together, then you really shouldn't expect them to show up on the call ready to make an investment or prepared to make an investment or even thinking about possibly working with you. So you have to be mindful of the type of call that you're inviting people to, and then what that looks like after the fact. The other thing is I had no confidence. I just didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't have any confidence, and therefore it just, what you put out is what you get back. So you must be good at sales calls, because you cannot help people make money without doing sales. I mean, how will you make money in your business if you're not selling? And selling is not just about getting on the phone with people. That is one part. It's one of the best and fastest ways, but you have to know how to sell in everything. In your offers, you have to know how to sell your messaging. You have to know how to sell your price points. You have to know how to sell even your free shit, even your free stuff. You have to know how to sell. It is harder today to get people to opt in for a free download than it ever used to be. You have to be so damn good at sales that you have to be able to sell your free stuff. That is how the industry has evolved and changed to this day. So selling is not just about, I got to get on a sales call and I have to know how to close the call. Yes, that is one part of having money in your business and making money. But the other thing too is that you have to just know how to sell in general. You have to know how to sell all parts of your business, free and paid. So here are just a few ways you can get sales, okay? And then we're going to get into the discovery call stuff. But the way that you can get sales calls is always number one. It's always number one. Sales calls is the fastest, highest converting strategy that there is. There's nothing that can trump a sales call. If you can get someone on a sales call and you can master sales, you will never financially struggle again. That's just the way it goes. I know a lot of you try to resist doing sales calls, and instead you'll do pretty much anything other than a sales call. But here's the deal. It is harder to sell through messaging. It's harder to sell through emails because email deliverability is decreasing. People are getting so bombarded with emails, they're not opening emails anymore. People are shutting off notifications. They're unsubscribing like crazy. If you're trying to do it with just your Facebook group alone, that's going to get challenging because Facebook's algorithms have changed so much that unless you're paying for ads, you almost have like a 50% decrease in visibility and reach. I mean, that's just the direction that's headed. And again, people are so sick of the overwhelming promotion and nonsense chatter in the Facebook groups that they're turning their notifications off and they're not even seeing what you're putting out anyway. So you need to get good at sales calls. Also, the other thing is sales calls will never die down. They will always be number one. And a lot of lead-in entrepreneurs in the industry, a lot of our lead-in experts don't do sales calls anymore. They do all automation. They drive all funnel, Facebook ads through a funnel. They don't do sales calls anymore. So the thing is your people want to get on a sales call with you. They want to talk with you. They don't want to read your email. They don't want to, see all your spammy promotional posts going out. They actually want to get on the phone with you. And even more so because most people aren't doing this anymore. Most people are not taking the time in their business to build relationships and get on the phone with people. And that's going to help you stand out. That's going to position you. So you should be doing sales calls. Current clients. I can't believe how much money gets left out on the table with this. I see so many entrepreneurs who have like a bunch of clients and they're freaking out because contracts are coming to an end and they're chasing down new clients. What you should be doing is renewing your current clients. You already have a relationship with them. They've already purchased from you. Hopefully they've gotten results with you. I mean, if they show up and do the work, it's up to them really, but hopefully they're getting results. And you're out chasing new clients instead of tapping into what you've already created. So that's just crazy to me. You should have call to actions in everything you do. There's nothing wrong with asking for something after you've given something. There's nothing wrong with that. Call to actions in your blog posts, your newsletters, your emails, your Facebook Lives, your webinars, whatever deliverability you are doing, whatever content you're using to deliver your message, whatever it is that you're doing should have a call to action. Now, call to action does not always mean paid. It's not always a sale. A call to action can be, hey, come opt in for this new training. Hey, join me over in my Facebook group. Or, hey, check out this other blog post. It doesn't always have to be paid. It could be a free complimentary call with you to discuss, how you can support them. I mean, call to actions, I have like this massive list of what call to actions can be, and it's just about anything. But you should have one in every single thing that you do. No matter what it is, you should have a call to action. The other reason I love doing that is because when you give a call to action, whether it's free or paid, you are training your people to engage and take an action when they come and connect with you. And you have to do that. They're not going to do that themselves. So you have to manufacture that. It's just like if you have a Facebook group and it's stale and nobody's talking, it's up to you. You need to go manufacture engagement until you don't have to do it anymore. It's the same thing with call to actions. If you create a piece of content, no matter what it is, and you want someone to do something after, you have to tell them to do that. That's going to start to train your people to do that. One of the things that I do is when I do Facebook Lives or like this or any type of training, I always say, tell me in the comments what you think about this. Tell me where you're joining in from. Give me your name. Tell me who's here. Show me a heart. Show me a number one. Something. I'm trying to teach my people you need to engage because that's what social media is about. The people who don't engage on social media, you're going to fade out. No one's going to see you. No one's going to connect with you. No one's going to communicate with you. You're going to get nowhere in your business because social media is meant for engagement. It's meant for communication, community. That is what this is all about. So if you're just kind of sitting there and being a fly on the wall, well, then nobody knows you, nobody sees you, and nobody's going to get to know you. So you're just doing a disservice to yourself, right? So I'm always training my people. Come do this. Connect with me here. Click this. Like this. Give me a heart. Show me this. Something to teach my people. Those are call to actions. Okay, I'm not asking you to buy anything. That's call to action. Okay, another is referrals or affiliates. Those are always great to help you get sales. Webinars, trainings, live events, things like that are second to sales calls. Like, honestly, those are my number ones. I love them. JV partnerships, telesummits, giveaways. So many of you know I do like an annual giveaway every single year, and I get some of the top millionaires in the industry who come participate in my giveaways. I also have people, just crazy successful entrepreneurs in our industry that come to me once or twice a year and say, Ann, I want to interview you. I want you to be on my summit. I want you to participate in my giveaway. And this is something too that has come very natural to me. I'm so great at building relationships with people and connecting, and people just naturally like me. I'm just very, very personable. And because of that, because I bring just who I am to the table, a lot of people want to connect with me. A lot of people want to interview me. I have a unique story, and I share it freely. I don't hold back on that. And people like that about me. So naturally, I have been able to get amazing opportunities that most people have to be in business for years before they get. But I do have ways that I've done that. I have ways that I've been able to do that. So those are some great things to be looking at. Those are really good for authority and list builders, but they turn into sales down the road. So interviews, guest blogging. I don't do a lot of guest blogging anymore. I do write for Huffington Post, but other than that, I don't typically do this anymore. But I did in the beginning. It was great for exposure. Interviews, I do those all the time. Facebook ads, yeah, they're a hit or miss. They're for some people, they're not for others. I've never done Facebook ads up until this year. I have literally grown my business to where it is organically, and I've never had to spend money on Facebook ads. This year we tested them and dabbled in them a little bit. They're all right, but it's not how I grow my business. It's not how I built my email list. It's not how I get my sales. Typically, I don't use a lot of Facebook ads. Not saying that we don't or won't, but we just typically don't use very many of them. Sponsorships are great. Sales funnels are amazing. I think that there's a few that every single business owner should have, even if you're just getting started. And if you don't have them, shame on you. Okay, so there's two main strategies that we need to be looking at that you have to understand. You have a short-term strategy, like that's getting results, getting sales today. And then we have long-term strategies. And these are things like I mentioned when I talked about here, like telesummits and giveaways. It's not fast sales. Telesummits and giveaways are not fast sales, but they're big list builders. They're great for authority, and they do turn into sales in the long term, okay? So there's short-term strategies and there's long-term. Most entrepreneurs go one way or the other, and you really have to try to balance both if you want to see success. The short term is making money right now. This is getting that big influx of fast cash in the door so you can sustain yourself and cover the expenses. So if you want to have automated funnels, if you want to do Facebook ads, if you want to hire a team, where's that money coming from? That money comes from the short-term strategies. Okay, you need the short term to get the money in the door right now, especially if you're newer in business. Or if you just need that influx of cash for something, then you need to be looking at the short term. But you're always looking at the long term as well. The long term is that sustainable income that's coming in consistently and forever growing. It's that sustainability, the scalability. This is what builds that long term. So it might not give you money in the short term, right? Like in the short term, it's not giving you money, but in the long term, it's kind of like you work harder now so you don't have to later. So if you ask which one you should focus on, I'm going to tell you both. I'm going to tell you both. You need to find the balance, and I don't use that word very often in business, but you need to find the balance between the both. You should not be building your list broke. You should not be building up a website broke. You should not be creating sales pages broke. You need to find the balance where you are building out those long-term sustainability, scalable things in your business, but you're making money while you're doing it. Anyway, you need the money because you need the money to fund long-term strategies. Facebook ads cost money. Funnels cost money. Automation costs money. Delegating to team members costs money. Being able to participate in some of the big giveaways and things like that that are going to grow your list by hundreds, if not thousands, costs money. So you need the short-term strategies to get the money in the door. So depending on where you're at in your business, you will spend time on one more than the other, but in any case, you should be focusing on getting fast cash in the door while also setting yourself up for long-term, consistent growth and scalability. Okay, super, super important. So let's talk about your goals. Your goals are going to dictate the strategies that you focus on always. That's never going to change. Based on what your goals are, that is what's going to tell you what strategies you need to focus on. And that's going to help you to determine which things you focus on the day-to-day. If you're that entrepreneur, I get so many people that come to me and they're like, I'm just scattered. I'm like, I have squirrel brain. I'm all over, or monkey brain. I'm all over the place. I don't know one day to the next what I'm doing. I'm focusing on so many things. I just don't know what to focus on every day. Typically, most entrepreneurs, especially newer ones, this is where you're at, because you're just at the point where you don't really know what you should be focusing on, and you don't know what activities actually generate money or what activities move the business forward. So the strategies you focus on will depend on what your goals are. You first need to figure out what it is you want to see happen, and then you can go from there. Okay, so you could tell me in the comments. I would love to know if you are focusing on short-term strategies like getting the fast cash in the door right now, or if you're focusing on those long-term strategies, so consistent cash in the door later. Or maybe you're doing both. That's cool too. I hope that's what you're doing. Because again, you really want to be focusing on both of these. You want to find the balance. And this is one of those areas where we sort of can find the balance. Again, I don't use that word often in business because there's almost no such thing. But this is one of the exceptions where you do need to find the balance between your short-term strategies and your your long-term strategies. So just tell me below. I want to know which ones you're focusing on. And even if you're joining us on the replay, just let me know. Like, do you focus mostly on getting cash in the door right now? Like you're always on fire? You're always focusing on just that next sale? Or are you the person who's building out the website and you're building up a big list that you're not selling to? You're creating sales page and you're trying to master your brand, but yet you're not really making any money. Or are you kind of in between both, where you're doing a little bit of both of these? I would love to know. So here's my tip number one. My first tip for you is to focus on fast cash strategies that give you a big influx of cash right now, because you're going to work harder now in the beginning of your business so that you don't have to do that later, which just makes sense. You don't always have to do sales calls. You don't always have to be in other people's Facebook groups to get clients. You don't always have to be manually growing your list. Like, you don't always have to be in your business day in, day out. But you do in the beginning. You do have to do that in the beginning, unless you're gifted with a shit ton of money, where you can just like invest in all kinds of stuff to do it for you. Otherwise, you do have to do this stuff in the beginning, but you won't have to later. So my first tip for you is to focus on getting money in the door right now. That's going to give you an influx of cash. And then that cash can be used for those longer term strategies. Okay, so my top strategy for getting fast cash in the door, I want to share that with you so that you know how I do this in my business. I'm only going to share with you what works for me. If it doesn't work for me, I'm just not going to share it. So my top strategy for getting cash in the door right now is that I tap into my hottest leads first and I put a high ticket offer in front of them, period. End of conversation. I go to my hottest traffic, buyers, basically, like people that I know are going to be buyers. And I put it's no less than a $2,000 offer in front of them. High ticket offers, 2,000 or more. So I usually go straight to them and I put a high ticket offer in front of them. So usually it's 3,000 is probably the minimum. And I usually go to about a $7,500 offer. Sometimes more than that, but those are typically the offers that I'm going to put in front of just buyers. That is my fastest strategy for getting cash in the door now. And if you're that type of person that's saying, oh, that sounds fancy, except that I can't even get people to buy my low ticket offer, how am I going to get them to buy a high ticket offer? It's not about the money. People are not buying because of the price point. If they're telling you that, then what you have is not the right offer for them, or they're not the right person, because money is not really the objection here. It's typically when people come up with an objection, especially around money, you did not do your job to really give them the clarity that they need, or they just don't see your offer as a now thing. They don't see that your offer is a solution right now. And it may be because you didn't position it correctly or put the urgency, or it could just be that that's what it is. In any case, it's not any different. There's no different level of difficulty to put a high ticket offer or a low ticket offer in front of someone. It's going to take you the same energy to sell it. That is something that I just had to get used to, because I had a list that would only buy low ticket offers, or so I thought. So I would never put anything high in front of them. But once I put my high ticket offer in front of the right people, they were buying it. And I was like, oh, no shit. So people do buy high tickets. So again, you want to put a high ticket offer in front of buyers. So why not just tell everyone about your offers? Some people literally ask me this, like, why can't I just tell everybody and the people that want to buy it will buy it? Okay, well, one, blasting your offer to everyone is a shit ton of work. So, I mean, go for it if you want to work really hard. That's just not my style. I don't want to work hard, and maybe I'm a little bit lazy, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I just don't want to work hard. Well, I guess I don't mind working hard. I just don't want to hustle. So I don't want to do things that I know can be done easier. I don't want to complicate them. So it's a lot of work. It's hard work to go out and try to blast your offer to everyone versus just the right people. Typically, this is not a good strategy, especially now. I mean, 5 years ago, totally, I blasted my offer all over the place and got a shit ton of sales. That doesn't work nowadays. There's just too much promotion going on. There's too much scamming. There's just a bunch of noise happening right now that it's not an effective strategy. If you're just trying to blast an offer out to the whole world and you don't even have like an intention, you don't know if the people want that or need that, it makes you look really bad. It just makes you look bad. It makes you look like an amateur. It makes you look like you're desperate. You're crying out for help. You don't know what the hell you're doing. It's just not a good look. The other thing is cold traffic is not going to buy from you right away. I have had I get a few sales here and there from people that meet me for the very first time. They've never even had a call with me. They're not on my list. They're not in my group. They just like my stuff and they private message me and say, Ann, I want to know more. Yes, that happens, but that's not sustainable. That's not consistent. That's not going to grow your business. You can't rely on that. Cold traffic needs time to warm up to you. They need to get to know, like, and trust you. You have to nurture them. They're not just going to like jump in and buy from you. It's just not going to happen. And you don't want to spend time reaching out to people who your offer is not a fit for. Again, it makes you look really bad. That would be like, that would be like you reaching out to like Marie Forleo and saying, hey, Marie Forleo, I just created this brand new program on building your list. Would you like to, I see you as a mover and a shaker. You want to come participate in this program. I'd love to have you join it. That would be so ridiculous of people to do because she's so far beyond that. So if you don't know if you don't know where your people are at, if you don't know who they are and you're just kind of putting stuff in front of them, it's that same scenario. They could be looking at you like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm so far beyond that. And it's an insult to them that you don't know that. It's an insult that you're approaching them with something that's so beneath where they're at. You have to do your research. You have to know what the hell you're doing. You can't be going to people with an offer that they don't need and want because it makes you look bad, not them. It makes you look like you have no clue what you're doing, and it's an insult to the other person. If somebody approached me and said, hey, Ann, I just put this brand new program together that's going to show you how to master your sales conversations, it would be an insult to me because that's what I do. So it would be like, did you not check out my stuff? I know sales. I don't need help with sales. It would be an insult. You got to do your research. Okay, so let's talk about traffic sources. There's two main types of traffic sources. There's the hot traffic. And then this consists of like, and this is the traffic that I told you. This is who I tap into when I'm trying to generate fast money. Current clients, my past buyers, my referrals, my leads, Facebook group members, and then there's cold traffic. Cold traffic is paid ads, Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Google, I don't care what ads they are. They're not super cold if you're retargeting, but if you're just targeting straight up cold traffic, well, that's paid ads. Other people's Facebook groups. Now, again, this is just in general. If you are spending time in groups and you're nurturing and building relationships, then they probably know, like, and trust you a little bit. Typically, if they do, they're in your group. They've connected with you. If you have not got to the place where they're getting on your list or they're joining your Facebook group or they're coming and connecting with you on your page or having some sort of like next step with you, then chances are they're cold traffic. They don't know, like, or trust you enough to come connect with you. That's how I look at it. Summits and giveaways, even though it's a great list builder, it's still cold traffic. You have to nurture those people. Guest blogs, interviews, things like that. So tell me in the comments, even if you are a replayer, I'd love to know if you have hot traffic to tap into. I would love to know that if you do. And I'm happy to share some tips. So let's talk about some different types of offers. Again, there's two types. There's high ticket. This is going to require a phone call with you. Again, remember that a high ticket offer is $2,000 or more. And typically you need to get on a phone call with people before they're going to make that type of investment with you. Now, I have had a sales call. Many of them, I have had many sales where I have not got on the phone call with them, and they've purchased $5,000. I had one person invest $7,500 in my VIP day with me. I never got on the phone with them before that, so that happened. But typically, that ain't happening. If you're trying to sell something that's $2,000 or more, you need to be booking a call with them. This also requires less sales because it's higher ticket. You don't need as many. Also requires less volume. So if you don't have a big list, if you don't have a big social media following, then this is a great high ticket offer is what you should be focusing on, because you don't need a big volume. You don't need a big list. You don't need a big Facebook group. You just need to know how to approach them to get them on the call with you. The value in a high ticket, I mean, in my situations, I've always noticed with me and my clients, a high ticket offer, I have what we call sellable offers. I have it trademarked. It's something I created. It's different from a traditional offer from what most people do. When they create an offer, this is a little bit different. A sellable offer sells itself because it's so valuable. The value is just reeking all through the package. And sellable offer is not the same as, typical offers that you see today. It's different. I package it different. I position it different. And therefore the value is different and it sells itself. My offers sell themselves. It doesn't require really any technology. I've done $35,000 in 30 days. I've done $15,000 in 2 weeks, and I had no sales page. I did not have a website, and I definitely did not hustle. If you're going to do a sales call, you need a scheduler and a payment link. That's what requires, that's the technology required. So it's like nothing. It's a fast cash strategy. Anytime I need an influx of money in the door, high ticket offer in front of my hottest traffic, and it's a done deal. It's less effort to sell it. It's just, people think a high ticket offer is hard to sell. It's not. It's actually way easier than a low ticket offer. Okay, so let's talk about the low ticket. We've talked about the high ticket. The low ticket requires more sales. This is probably not something you want to be offering, even though you might think it makes sense because it's priced lower. Well, guess what? Just because it's priced lower does not mean more people will buy it. That does not mean that at all. I have a harder time selling low ticket offers. I have to work so much harder to sell a low ticket offer than I do a high ticket offer. It's ridiculous. And that's the experience that most of my clients have. A low ticket offer requires more sales because it's priced lower. So if you're trying to make $10,000 a month and you're selling an offer at $100 or even $250 or even $500, you've got to work with a shit ton of clients to make $10,000 a month. And why would you want to do that? I don't know anybody who would want to do that. So if you are doing a low ticket offer, it's going to require more sales, which means more volume. So that means you need a bigger list, you need a bigger Facebook community because you need more sales. So you need more leads. It is harder to sell. It just requires more work. A low ticket offer is a lot of work. You don't make a ton of money. You need a lot of clients, a lot of sales. Overall, it's just a lot of work. You do need a sales page. If you are getting on a sales call and talking with people about a low ticket offer, I'm virtually going to smack the shit out of your face because that is so stupid. Seriously, if you have a low ticket offer, send them to a sales page. Why would you get on a sales call for a low ticket offer? That is just absolutely not good use of your time. And that's just, if you're going to get on a sales call, I want you selling a high ticket offer. That's that. You're wasting the opportunity. A low ticket does take longer to sell because overall you need more sales. You have to set up a sales page. You got to do all the tech behind it. It's a low ticket offer, so it's usually some sort of course or program. You have to build up your list or your group. You have to have a lot of traffic, and then you have to try to sell it. And it takes a while because you need so many damn sales. So it takes forever. It's just more work. So choosing an offer. You're now at this point, you're probably wondering, how do you pick and how do you choose? I typically have my clients start with a high ticket offer to their hottest traffic first. I have clients who come in and they've been selling one-on-one coaching packages at $500. And I tell them, I want you to charge $3,000. Let's go up to $3,000. And they're like, oh my God, no way. I'm having a hard time selling it at $500. How am I going to sell it at $3,000? And they go off and they speak to maybe a handful of people and they close clients. They fill their one-on-one coaching program with, $3,000 and $5,000 coaching packages, which they've never done before. It's not as difficult as you're making it. You just need a few things in place that, to make this possible. But I'm telling you that if you need cash, you need to offer a high ticket and you need to do a sales call. So to choose your type of offer, you have to determine your goals. Because I told you at the beginning of this, your goals are going to dictate what strategies you focus on every single time. Most entrepreneurs say, oh my God, I've got to make $5,000 this month. I got to make $10,000 this month. I got to pay my mortgage. Oh my God, the bills are due. Oh my God, I got to pay that credit card. Oh my gosh, I owe my coach money. And they start freaking out and they're like, oh my God, I'm just going to throw this offer together and I'm going to put a super low price on it. I'm going to just blast it out to everybody. That is everything that you should not be doing. That is exactly how you're going to burn out. That's exactly how you're going to work way too hard. And you're probably not going to reach your money goals. You're probably experiencing that now. It just doesn't work. What you need to do is figure out what your goals are. Then you need to look at your inventory. Well, what I call over in Sell Like a Rebel, what we call inventory is your profit possibility. So when you look at your profit, you look at your numbers, what's possible for you. If you don't know that, that's probably one reason you're not reaching your money goals. You should know your profit possibility. It's a training that, it's an exercise I do with all of my clients. It's something that I trademarked. It's something that we do. It's your profit possibility. It's looking at your inventory and your numbers, and then you figure out your goals and you compare those two things against each other so that you can see what you have in place to work with in support of your goals. It's a very simple exercise, but if you don't know how to do this, then that's probably why you're struggling. Then you can decide if you have the traffic to reach your goals. This is by looking at your profit possibility and comparing it against your goals, it's going to tell you. You don't even have to guess. It's going to tell you if you have what it takes to sell a low ticket offer or if you need to be selling a high ticket offer. I'm all about taking the guesswork out of shit. I don't want to guess. I don't want to work hard. I don't want to hope things work. I want to guarantee my income. So this is how I do it. I always look at my profit possibility. I compare it against my goals, and then I do whatever those numbers tell me. And if it tells me I don't have what it takes to sell a low ticket offer, I don't sell a low ticket offer. If it tells me that I do, then I do. If it tells me that I don't, then I do a high ticket offer. It's very simple. You also want to make sure you're totally excited and lit up about your offer. Anyone who's in my community, any of my clients, anyone who's ever known me for any amount of time, the one thing I take a massive stand for is that I do not give a shit what your coach tells you. I don't give a shit what other people are doing that works. I don't care what other people are doing that's successful. I don't care about any of that. I care about what excites you, what lights you up, what makes you excited, because this is your business. So don't design somebody else's business, design your business. I spent the first 5 years of my business doing what everybody else was doing because I figured if it worked for them, it'd work for me. And I was the most miserable person, burnt out and broke. And I beat myself up because I thought it was me. So you need to be excited. You need to build your own business. Be excited about your own offers. Be excited about your own price points. Stop doing what everybody else is telling you to do or what you think you're supposed to do, and instead break those rules and bust out of the whole traditional restricted box of here's what you need to do to be successful, and do your own shit. Make up your own rules. All right, so tell me in the comments, even if you're a replayer, do you want to do a high ticket offer or a low ticket? Based on what we've talked about, I would love to hear if you think you're capable of doing one or the other, or maybe you can do both, and that's really cool too. Just let me know, because I really love to just kind of know where everybody's at and if you're really understanding what I'm teaching you here. All right, so positioning your offer for an easy yes. There's a few things that your offer should have. It should have some access to you, especially if you're doing a high ticket offer. There should be some materials, high ticket, low ticket, doesn't matter. There should be some sort of material to help people get some fast results. There should be some sort of quick win for people. So most people do not want to wait like 5 weeks or months or a year for results. Most people want this right away. One of the things that I do, just to give you an example, when people come and join my programs, the first thing we do, actually any of my programs, the first thing we do is a cash injection. So I have a program that I have created that is all around cash injections, and I've been doing cash injections in my own business and with my clients for years. It's a way that I can get them money in the door really fast right away before we even start working together. So I have clients who have come to me and said, I don't know, I'm scared about making the investment in your program because I'm afraid, like, what if I don't make my money back? Or what if I can't make the upcoming payments? I'm scared to borrow. What if I can't pay it back? And I say, listen, I want you to set all of that aside. If that was not a problem, would you want to join the program? It's always a yes. And then I say, great, don't worry about the money, because as soon as you join, we're going to personalize and customize a cash injection training for you. And I'm going to give you all the training. I'm going to give you all the templates, and I'm going to personally walk you through this. You're going to go off and implement what I give you. You're going to make a shit ton of money, and you're either going to make some or all of your money back from your investment, and then you're going to not have to worry about the payments. So this also helps my clients be able to make investments without being stressed out about the money, because they know when they join my program, this is the first thing we're doing. We're going to do a cash injection. I'm going to train you on one of my programs, and I'm going to give you my templates, and you're going to go off and make money. So this is something that I give to my clients in every single one of my programs. When you sign up, you're going to do a cash injection and you're going to go make money. So money is never a problem for my clients. And a cash injection can be done any time. So it is a rinse repeatable. I use it in between every launch. I use it probably once a month. I do them all the time to make $20,000, $30,000 really quickly. And it's simple. It's easy as pie. Now, now, of course, that's in alignment with me because I teach sales. But if you do something else like weight loss or health or marketing or social media or done for you service or whatever, you can customize the win that they get based off that. So, you can create something that's a quick win for them based off what you do. I always do easy payment plans. I have offers that are like, well, I don't now, but maybe I do. Maybe I have an upsell that's like $97 or something. I have some smaller things, like a $500 mini VIP, where I give 2 or 3 payment plan options. I have in the past had a $97 offer where I did 2 payment plans. Most people are like, why? It's $97. Well, because I want things to be easy for my clients. I don't want them to struggle financially, and I don't want to enter a relationship with stress around money, because then it just makes everything else kind of go downhill. Why make it hard for people to say yes? And an easy payment plan helps them say yes to what they need. It gets you the sale, but also you have recurrent payments that you can rely on. A lot of my clients are like all upset because, oh my God, they wanted the payment plan. They didn't pay in full. I suck at this. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I love to see a payment come in every single month for like 6 months or a year that I can rely on and depend on. Why wouldn't you want that? So payment plans are great. It's a win-win for everybody. And then urgency for them, not for you. Most of the time, it's my clients that have the urgency, and you need to shift that energy, and you need to set the urgency for them so that they can see the value and they can see that this is a now thing. Don't have urgency for this around yourself. You yourself should not have urgency to fill your programs. Congruent and juicy bonuses. Instead of discounting your programs or instead of lowering your price points, you can just offer some juicy bonuses. Just make sure they're congruent. They need to be valuable. They need to be congruent with what your offer is. They need to be a next step. Don't just like throw stuff in there to throw it in there. One of the things that I do, now I'm not a big believer in discounts, so to speak. But I will tell you one thing that I do, and I probably break rules, which I sell like a rebel. So yes, we break rules, but I do break the rule on discounts because I offer discounts to my current clients every time. If I ever come out with a program, I always give my current clients, like whoever's contracted with me at that time, I always give them a discount. I love them. I appreciate them. I wouldn't be a business without them. And that's my way of showing gratitude. Not everybody does that, and you don't have to. And the other time that I do discounts is holidays. I do bonuses, but I also do discounts. Like Black Friday's coming up. People will get access to one of my trainings. If it's normally quite a bit more, they will get it for a cheaper amount because it's a holiday. So those are my two exceptions for discounts, current clients and holidays. You choose to design your business whatever feels right for you. Okay, create an offer that you're confident in and provides a solution to a specific problem that your audience is having right now. And that is how you set the urgency. This is how you create a sellable offer is people, it's a solution, not to your problem, but to your client's problem. It's got to be an easy no-brainer offer. It's got to be a solution. Like your client needs to see it as a solution. It's not enough that you think it's fabulous and that you think it's a solution. Your ideal clients need to think it is because they're the ones that are buying it. You're not buying it, they are. So they need to see it as a solution to a problem that they're having, and it's got to be a problem that they're willing to pay for to make go away. I say that all the time. If it's not a now thing, they're going to say, this looks great, maybe another time. But if you want them to buy it now, then it needs to be a solution to a problem they're having right now, and it's also going to be a problem that they are willing to make, that they're willing to pay for to make it go away. So it's got to be a big problem. It's got to be like a now problem. I need to get rid of this right now. Targeting the right people. So there's 5 ways you can drive targeted traffic, buyers, essentially. You need to survey and poll your audience. If you don't want to do this or you don't like doing it or you've done it before and it didn't work, you're not doing it right, you need to survey, you need to poll, you need to ask questions. I have about 50 different ways to survey and poll my audience. It's not just creating a survey or a poll. There's like 50 ways that I do this. But you need to be doing it because if you're not speaking their language, they're not buying. You need to touch your hottest leads first. Exhaust them before you go into your cold traffic. You need to create offers that have solutions that your audience have asked for. If you don't poll and survey, you don't really know what your people want. You think you know. Hence the reason you might not be making the money you want. But you need to know for sure. Again, like I said at the beginning, I don't like to build my business off hope. I don't like to hope I make money or hope I get a client. I like to guarantee things. So you need to be creating offers that your people actually want enough to pull out the credit card. You need to sell through value, not through sales. So I know there's a lot of urgency around like, I need to make money, I need to get sales. Problem with that is you get back that same level of energy. So if you're putting that out there, it's desperate. It's lack mindset. It's freak mode. It's hair on fire. I'm freaking out. I'm stressed out. And that's not going to get you sales. So what you need to do is stop selling and start giving massive value. People will love your free shit so much that, you know, they'll come to you. So I don't really do a lot of like sales. The only time I really sell is to my email list in my Facebook group because that's my community. Those are my people. But for the most part, the way that I actually fill my programs is through stuff like this, like trainings like this, doing Facebook Lives in my Facebook group, writing really, really valuable posts that are like 5 steps, 3 steps, go off and implement, giving quick, easy, like downloadables or checklists or cheat sheets that my clients can literally just go get results with. And I only focus on giving my community things that are going to give them a fast result. I don't focus on fluff and a bunch of stuff. I give them simple, like 1, 2, 3 steps. So I'm very, very strategic, and that is why people buy through my free stuff. And I don't always have to be selling and pitching. A lot of the times I will do webinars or trainings like this or Facebook Lives, and then after people private message me or they're emailing me and they're saying, Ann, you know, can I come join your group? Hey, can we book a call? I want to talk about your program. Or, you know, how could I work with you? I loved the value you gave on that training the other day. Like, most of the time, that's how I'm filling my programs and getting sales. It's not usually me having to like go chase people. Normally people come to me and they're like, oh my God, I watched this training you did, or holy cow, that was super, you know, filled with value, and it spoke to me and I'm interested and I want to work with you. So if you start just giving value and you focus on that and chill out a little bit on the selling piece, you'll get more sales that way. I promise you will. The other thing that I do is I set up a pre-qualification process, especially if I'm booking calls. If you are getting people on a call with you to talk about working together, you've got to have a pre-qualification process in place, or you're going to put yourself in a position of getting a ton of the wrong people on your calendar, a bunch of no-shows, people that are brain pickers or they're just looking for free information. I call them lurkers. Basically, they're just like, hey, what can I get for free? I don't want to pay for nothing, but I want to be like a millionaire. Those types of people, they're not getting on a phone call with me. 5 years ago, yes. 3 years ago, maybe. Today, absolutely not. You are not getting on the phone with me if that's the type of person you are, because I don't have time for that shit. So you absolutely need to have a pre-qualification process in place so that you are only giving your time to the right people, which I call buyers. People that want to buy from you. People that want to discuss working with you or even seek out the opportunity. You don't want to be filling your calendar with people that are like, oh, I don't have any money. My life sucks right now, and I'm just trying to get free information. Can I just pick your brain for a minute? I just have a few questions. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't have time for that. So the pre-qualification process that I set up for myself and my clients helps kind of weed those people out. So out of 10 people, I might get one person like that. Here's how this might look. So I put a poll in a Facebook group asking, so here's what you can do. This is how I do it, but this is what you can do. Put a poll in your Facebook group and ask your community to choose one out of like maybe 4 or 5, 3 to 5 maybe, challenges or obstacles that they're facing right now in their business. Run it for about a week. Give yourself a week. I only need a few days, but I let the suckers run for like a week. It's not a big deal. I'll take all the content and keywords I can get. You decide how long. You might need 2 weeks, but really, ideally, you should be able to do a week. Take the challenge or the obstacle that got the most votes, okay, and then use that as your monthly theme. So let's say that people told you, oh my God, weight loss. Okay, so that's your monthly theme. What you'll do is you'll create your monthly theme, and then you want to create 4 subtopics from the monthly theme. The 4 subtopics is like week 1, we talk about this, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So you have your content for the entire month. This is exactly how I map out my 12-month annual plan. Well, this is one piece of it. This isn't the whole thing, but this is how I come up with the themes that I'm going to focus on. And then you have one topic for each week for the entire month. And you know it's on point. You know your people want it because they voted for it. It's a no-brainer. It's kind of like, duh. The topic should be solutions or next steps, and it should effortlessly lead into your main offer. So any themes that I come up with and any topics, anything I'm talking about in my business, day to day, week to week, month to month, quarter to quarter, everything that I am talking about is leading to whatever offer I have for that month or for that quarter. So I'm not going to like talk about sales if my program's about list building. That would not make sense. I mean, it kind of would because you kind of have to, they do go together. But again, you get where I'm going with this. If you are trying to teach someone to eat healthy and exercise and take good care of themselves, and then your core offer, that's your free stuff, and then you give them, try to sell them an offer that's about like marketing, those things don't go together. That does not make sense at all. It's got to be congruent next steps. Then you create an opt-in page for your lead magnet, okay? And this should be based around the winning topic. And then you share that everywhere to build your list. Now, these are not big list builds, guys. These are just value, but it's a way to get some people on your list. Definitely, if you want like big list builds, you need to be doing giveaways and summits and stuff like that. But this is a great start. Remember that everything you create And every single thing you talk about in your business should lead to your core offer. I have a lot of clients, not necessarily clients, but a lot of people in my community. Well, I do have a lot of clients, but that's not what I'm talking about. I have a lot of people in my community that work really hard to do Facebook Lives every single week. Some of them do them every day. They are doing blog posts every week. They're doing podcasts. They're getting interviews. They're doing so much. And then they're given a free offer that does not align with their core offer, that big offer that they actually want people to pay for. And then they're coming to me saying, I don't get it. I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm not making money. Nobody's buying my stuff. The problem is a lot of the times, I mean, there are different variables of what it could be, but a lot of the times it's that there's a lack of congruency, that the things that you're giving them for free, they don't lead to your core offer. So it doesn't make sense. People don't see it as a next step. It's not a no-brainer. All right, so tell me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, are you going to create a poll today, or at least go do some surveying and polling to learn what your community's biggest challenge is right now so you can go create free and paid content around that. This is one of the ways that I guarantee my income, because I only create what my community tells me they want. Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you want to guess what they want versus just go ask them? It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense. I'm just going to be honest. It doesn't make sense. If you can go ask your people what they want and they're going to tell you, then why would you want to guess? Just go ask them. They'll tell you. And then you create everything around that. Then you know for a fact, not hoping, but you're guaranteed, they're going to eat it up because they just told you that's what they wanted. All right, pre-qualify your buyers. We're getting close to the end here, guys. Why it's so important to pre-qualify people. It allows you to identify the right people for your offer. This is really important, okay? You want to make sure that you're putting the right offer in front of the right people. I hate seeing someone with a really good offer and then they don't get sales because they're just putting it in front of the wrong people. You'll be able to convert more discovery calls. So if you're booking discovery calls, if that's how you're filling your programs or making your money, then it's going to be really important that you're getting the right people on your calendar, because if you're not, well, then you're not going to get sales. And then you're going to think it's because you don't know how to do sales, when it could be that you're really great at sales. You just don't have the right people. And if your offer is not really, if you're not excited about your offer, then you're not going to be excited to sell it. It eliminates wasted time on marketing activities that produce no results. So I told you, when you know what your goals are, and when you do all the steps I walked you through here today, you'll know exactly what activities to focus on, and then you can eliminate the other things. Get rid of the busy stuff. Get rid of the things that just aren't working. Even if someone told you go do this, or even if you feel you're supposed to do that, if it isn't working, then you need to change it. It allows you to create sellable offers. Remember at the beginning I told you I trademarked sellable offers. Why? Because I created it. It is not the same as a regular offer. If you've been following me for a while, I've done many trainings on what a sellable offer is. It's something I put together. It's something I created that sells itself, that makes me a shit ton of money. It gives my clients super fast, easy results. People love it because it works. It's a win-win situation. It's not a regular offer. A sellable offer is not the same as a traditional offer. It's not what you've created today. My sellable offers are not like your offers, and they're not like anybody else's either. They're different. They are positioned different, and they have different things inside of them. There's a structure to them, and there's different elements inside them that make them a sellable offer. Big difference. It positions you as an expert that knows what you're talking about and has a genuine solution. So that's going to be really, really important as well. And then you're able to work smarter, not harder. So if you don't want, there's no need for you to work harder than you need to. It just doesn't make sense. So you want to be doing the smart things. So being strategic and focusing on the right things. You're going to get bigger results in less time with less sales and less effort. And yes, that is possible. Okay, so step one, I want you to craft a value-driven, content-rich message that drives the right people to you without promotion. So don't go pitching and promoting. I want you to become masterful at this, because when you become masterful at this, you stand out. And then it just becomes fun. Creating content becomes fun. Number two, step two, I want you to drive hot traffic to a discovery call with you. I want you to invite them to a call inside your free value-driven content. So whatever you create that's free, inside of that, invite them to a call. Remember at the beginning of this call, the beginning of this training, I said it's good to have a call to action in everything. If you're going to give someone a nice, juicy, high, rich content piece of value, give a call to action. You can invite them to a sales call. Okay, you're going to get those people on the call, and then you're going to sell them into a high ticket offer. So you have two options. Option one, you can drive traffic directly to your scheduler to book a call with you. And then after they book a call, they fill out an application. Or option two is you could drive traffic to the application first, and then when they fill out the application, they get to book a discovery call with you. Which one should you go with? So option one, if you drive traffic to your scheduler and then to an application page, this is best if you're newer or if you don't have a lot of cash flow. If you're not speaking to a lot of people, then you have all the time in the world to be doing sales calls, right? You can't afford to be super picky. Because here's the deal. When you set up steps like an application and all of that, you're going to get less people that are going to book with you because there's more steps they have to take, and you're going to weed out people not interested. So you get less calls that way, but you get more quality calls. But if you're at the beginning of your business and right now you just need to make money, you cannot afford to get that picky. So what I want you to do is just have people go to your scheduler. They can book the call. After they book the call, have it take them automatically to a page where they will fill out an application. And then you could just follow up with them to try to make sure they fill the application out before the call. Okay? Now, option two is for you. So you will set up an application first, a pre-application, and then they can schedule a call with you. And this is best if you're more established, or if you just don't have a ton of time to be doing sales calls, then you want to have only the right people book with you because you don't have a lot of time to do these. So you would have them fill out an application, and they can't book a call with you without filling out the application first. And that's how I have mine set up. I just did that this year. Up until this year, so I've been in business 15 years now, up until this year, I always let them book a call with me, and then I would have them fill out an application. Some people would and some people wouldn't, but I would still have the call with them. This year, they have to fill the application out to even get on my calendar. And that way I can go through the application and I can decide who I want to speak with and who I do not want to speak with. So this is for you if you're more established and you just don't have time to be sitting on a bunch of sales calls with people who aren't fully committed. But go with option one if cash flow is what you need right now because you can't really afford to be picky. No, okay, so know that when you add more steps for people to take, you're going to get less calls booked, but you will get more qualified ones. So even though I don't book as many sales calls as I used to, if I drive traffic to my application page to speak with me, I only get buyers on the call with me. So even though it might not be as many as it used to be, they buy. I close 100%. All right, so tell me in the comments, even if you're just a replayer, if you're watching the replay, which option will you be setting up? I'd love to know. Are you going to set up the application first? They have to fill that out before they can book a call with you, or can they book a call and then you'll just kind of encourage them to fill out the application? So you came here to learn how to book qualified, not just regular discovery calls, but qualified. So that you qualify discovery calls so you can close more sales faster and easier. And I definitely showed that, but tell me if you learn some simple strategies to book them faster and easier. Hopefully this is helpful because this is exactly the steps that I take and that I have my clients take to get just buyers on the phone, to close more sales way faster, way easier. Everything I just taught you, literally, if you just go implement this, I promise you, you'll get results. You will see a major shift in your sales, in your revenue. You will see a shift in the people that you speak to on your sales calls. And you'll notice that you're cutting a lot of your time in half every week because you're more focused on the right strategies instead of all the busy stuff. Any questions? I'm just going to check for questions. If you are watching the replay, please drop your questions below. I would love to just support you in any way that I can. Let me just see if there's any cues coming through. Nathalie says, in between both. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Okay, if you have any other questions, just let me know. I know I gave you guys a lot, but I promise you it is mad value. You will definitely get results if you go off and do these things. That I can promise. Any questions before we just wrap up? Let me know. And again, if you're just joining in for the watching the replay or catching the replay, feel free to drop your questions in the comments. I'll definitely come back and support. All right, awesome. Well, I don't see any questions, so thank you guys for joining. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if I can support you.